Hi Gemini, welcome to your May Astrology Horoscope forecast and happy birthday Geminians to the latter part of the Geminians. Welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new, I talk everything around astrology and tarot. To know more about my work, you may visit my website tarotbyanisha.com. For those of you who are seeking a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. Geminians, we are in midst of eclipse time again, and we also have Jupiter that is going to be changing signs, which happens only once every year. And then of course we have your ruling planet Mercury, which is going to be going direct mid-month. So let me break down the month for you. On the 5th, we have a lunar eclipse that is there in your house of work, and this is also the house of health. So this month, there is the focus is there on your house of health, and it's parallelly opposite to it is your house of behind the scenes. That's a house of spirituality, and it's a time where you'll find that things are coming to an end as far as maybe a work project is ending. It is also a time where you could be quite reflective. You could be introspecting about your journey so far as your work is concerned. You could be looking at the achievements that you have made. You could also be looking at your health, and you could be looking at whether you need to be changing a diet, whether you need to be eating better. And a lunar eclipse, because it's something which is finishing, coming to an end, you could be feeling a little emotional around your work. It can be in certain cases that you could be feeling quite overwhelmed as well with the amount of work that is there on your plate. On the 8th, we have Venus and Mars that come together in your house of money, and this is also the house of self-worth. So it's a beautiful, beautiful conjunction. Now Venus over here is, because this is happening in your house of money, it's going to give you an enhanced sense of self-worth and also money, because Venus rules money. And Mars, of course, is all about, getting things going, moving, even I would say to an extent of making you achieve your goals. And you would want that, you are going to be deriving a lot of satisfaction through earning money. In fact, a lot of you are going to be looking at multiple projects. Maybe you are working on multiple projects, and you're not happy doing one thing, Geminians. So for you, I think if there are multiple, if you're doing 2-3 things at a time, then that is what gives you a lot of satisfaction as well. There is also going to be a sense of enhanced self-worth. I think you are going to be deriving finally the amount of money that I'm making, or the amount of money that I have in my bank, and then how it is that I feel about myself. And often that's not the best way that we should be looking at ourselves. We should not be equating our sense of self-worth with money. But unfortunately, I think, this is of course as per astrology and even as per life. But in reality, that is the truth. If we are secure, financially secure, we do feel better about ourselves. We do feel a sense of wellness more is there. So for you, Venus and Mars conjuncting over here in this house is going to be just increasing your sense of wanting to create something more, while it is creative, but also financially viable for you. Also keep in mind that during this phase as well, try and do physical activities, whether even if it involves dancing, if it involves sculpting or ceramics or baking, anything which involves some amount of physical work is going to keep your mind at rest, and also it will allow you to be more productive in your work. On the 15th, we have your ruler Mercury, which is going to be going direct. So Mercury went retrograde from 22nd, and it's retrograde till about 15th. So 1st to 15th, complete things. Don't try to do something new. Don't try sign new contracts. do not buy anything expensive, especially an electronic, till the 15th of May. Till 15th, go through whatever legal papers are there. If there are registrations, if there is some, paperwork, some legal work, research that needs to get done, do all of that. And then do your launch or your beginning or your starting of a job, signing a contract, beginning negotiations. Do all of that from the 15th onward. It's just that whenever Mercury is retrograde, we do not have complete information with us. So you may tend to miss out on something, and then you'll just realize that, I missed on a certain aspect. On the 17th, we have Jupiter that is going to be joining Taurus in your house of behind the scenes, and it's a time of expansion, and Jupiter is going to be staying here for a year. And then on the 19th, we have a new moon. So we have 5 planets that are there in your house of behind the scenes. So this is a place which is, it's a very private house. This is the time where we sort of go back, we look at our own emotional patterns, we look at our own psychological patterns. This is a house which governs hospitals, it governs prisons, it at times governs our own emotional prisons as well. And this also governs family skeletons at times. It's also the house of spirituality. It's a house of service as well. So it's a time where you would find yourself being very spiritual, and I'm not saying religious. So spiritual, you would find yourself maybe, that there are aspects that you need to heal, that you need to sort of maybe come to terms with, or maybe you need that closure over there. And good time to be getting rid of any self-destructive habits, if there are any. So even if, whether it's smoking or it's overeating or it's indulging, or even if it is just, I would say, just not working out, not just taking care of your body, that can be self-destructive as well. Or maybe too much of screen time is there, that is self-destructive. And so all of that is it's a fabulous time to be getting rid of that. And you could be really in touch with your subconscious mind during this time. Fabulous time also to be associating with a charity, even if I would say not associating. First of all, any time is a good time to be giving, but I would say it's really a month which you would really feel at peace. So whether it is going to an orphanage and donating, whether it is for the stray animals, it's a time, and also it's very non-transactional. You are helping the helpless without expecting anything in return, because the animals are the voiceless. They can be anything, you're not going to be sort of be written about if you go and help them. But fabulous time, I'm digressing, sorry. It's fabulous time to be helping others, especially the voiceless. Fabulous time to be, you are also going to be in a phase where you are going to be in a emotional zone where you could be thinking of the world, which is really a better place, which is lighter, which is more helpful. And you could also be, and when I'm saying in a mental space or emotional space, it's almost as if when you're being very idealistic about the kind of world that you want to live in, or you're thinking that this is the kind of world I want to bring my children into, or I wish that the world stays that way. So it could just be or you could also be thinking about your childhood and thinking how secure it was, when we could just run off everywhere without the worry and so on and so forth. Fantastic time to be journaling. Fantastic time to be if you want to dabble in Reiki, if you want to do a past life regression, if you want to do any meditation, go for any retreats, it's a great time to be doing all of that. And if you can't do anything of it, any of it, then still I would say it's a good time to be just going in for some nice deep tissue massages, go for swims, do things that are good for you, self-care. Take care of yourself. And in certain cases, this also speaks about clandestine relationships. It can be that some of you are in a clandestine relationship wherein that you do not want to talk about it, you do not want others to know about it. But and in certain cases, some of you may enter into a clandestine, relationship during this time as well. But overall, it's a time of spiritual renewal, good time to connect, with things which you feel need to get healed in you. It's a time of healing, Geminians. It's a time of letting go of that external chatter. Literally unplug, your electronics, your screen time. And even if you don't have the time to sort of go or to a retreat, then make your house a little sanctuary, long cups of tea, sitting, writing, journaling. Maybe if you do something with your hands, again I'm back to doing saying, that's, I think, is the best way of healing, whether it's cooking or creating or any kind of work, even if it's art, anything, and that would be fabulous for you. We close the month on the 21st with Mars that moves into your house of communication, sibling, and it's a community where you stay in. So you could be involved in some kind of a professional or a corporate communication during this time, and there could be some issues that could crop up regarding your agreements or your contracts. And it is also very possible that you may have to make some trips regarding your work during this time. And also during this time that you'll find that there's a lot of stuff around, whether it is your car repair, or there is some road repair, or there is a commercial or sports issue that is regarding construction or media that generally crops up during this time. Try not to, just be careful that try not to convince others to think like you during this phase. And also I would say that try and rather be careful while you're trying to bring people to your side or trying to convince people to your side. And it could happen during phone calls, and it could be any routine communication during this time, and especially when you think that someone is violating your belief system. So keep in mind that the Mars energy tends to be very aggressive, so you could end up saying things, or you could end up being more aggressive than you had initially planned, and it could sort of break the relationship, or even I would say the deal or the negotiations that you are doing, because Mars doesn't care, and it makes you quite unnecessarily reckless at times. And also it works the other way around as well. If you have to sell an idea for work reasons during this time, it's an excellent time to be doing so. And your attitude could be, quite soft and gentle, and everything that has been, mentioned that I've just spoken about right now. It could be, it could happen with siblings, or it could happen with neighbors around you. So just be careful, because Mars tends to make a difficult aspect with this as far as your speech is concerned. We close the month with the last planet, Sun, that moves into your house of self. So a lot of self-validation, a lot of sense of feeling good, feeling confident. I think by the end of the month you're feeling quite renewed with all that time of self-introspection. Have a fabulous May, Geminians. I'll see you soon, and thank you so much for watching.